ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, welcome to the new and improved Chuckle Plus, the #1 place on the internet where you come for the chuckles and you stay for the plus. My name is Samuel Locke.
I'm Shannon Brunetti.
I'm Zach Clapperidge.
And I'm Katy Clapperidge.
Hey! I married the shit out of her. If you were wondering.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, well, that's because you didn't show up to our wedding. So, you know, it makes sense.
You might as well have been on an island, it was far away.
It was. That was on purpose.
This episode is brought to you by nugget porn. That's right, nugget porn. No arms,
God.
no legs, no problem.
Just click it.
It doesn't turn off. Don't click it.
You click it to turn it off.
That's not true. It goes for a specific amount of time. I'm sorry. I told you we're playing on expert mode. I'm so sorry.
And,
Of all the toys, Milton, of all the things you could bring me to tug on, you pulled that?
Hey, that was our laugh track.
Is that our laugh track?
Yeah.
So you might have noticed a few changes in everything, and that's because we finally have a place of our own. You're going to see a lot of new changes, a lot of new segments, and instead of me just talking my big face off hosting, we will be rotating, and you will have a new host every week. Yeah, buddy. You're going to love it.
Rotate your mic towards your face.
Better. Okay. We're going to start this bad boy off with our flagship, The World Dough.
There we go. Oh my goodness.
Hello there. Welcome to The World Dough. Today we're going to be talking about things in the world that was rather silly and you're going to maybe like it. We'll talk about it. So, I guess I'll start this one off. So, in The World Dough, as you might recall, we have Russians doing Russian things, peak Russia stuff, by looking at Ukraine going, nice country, I'll take it. So they were supposed to apparently invade the Wednesday of, and I guess they decided not to, and then when questioned about it, they said, wars rarely start on Wednesday. That was their response. And honestly, that is, like, while scary, that is one of the most objectively funny fucking things I've ever heard somebody say about a war.
I have no problem with that. I mean, Wednesdays, like Mondays are the worst. But, you know, who gives a shit about Wednesdays? What is it, trivia night? Anywhere? Like, nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about Wednesday.
Well,
we made up that we coined the term hump day to give it a little, like, you know, oomph. But, like, nobody gives a shit. And also, nobody fucks on Wednesdays. So, yeah.
Literally,
and countries don't fuck around on Wednesdays, apparently.
I'm just wondering, like, if they're saying, like, wars don't start on Wednesdays, when the fuck do they start? Like, when's the best day to start a war?
Sunday afternoon.
Mondays.
I'd say a Friday night, everyone's out clubbing. They'll, like sneak attack in there, you know?
Either that or he just, like, kind of stumbled. Like, they were supposed to do the assault, and they decided, like, something happened and they couldn't. People were like, why did we not do it? And he's like, oh, it's Wednesday. That's why. Go fuck yourself. It's Wednesday. I don't know. Go, I will kill you.
Now,
I looked up answer on internet. What is most dangerous day of week? It is not Monday. It is Wednesday.
Get the fuck out, really?
What? It literally says the dubious honor falls on Wednesday because everyone starts bad things on Wednesday.
Everything.
Apparently not wars.
So actually,
everything I believe true is
well,
a
here's
lie.
the thing. Fun thing about like the Russian culture is that they're very superstitious people, like extra superstitious.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, where do you get this information? What do you know about the Russian people?
Oh, I know a little bit about Russian people, but like the thing is, they are extremely superstitious people. So if they if Wednesday's like a bad day, they straight up will not have a war if it's a bad day.
That's fair.
Do you want to know what the safest day of the week is? What day?
Tuesday.
Oh.
I actually kind of believe that.
Yeah.
Like nothing bad happens on
Apparently
Tuesday.
the hospitals are most stocked on
Well,
Tuesdays.
it's Tears Day, and it is
Tears Day.
It is the day of Tyr, god of justice.
Now, objectively, if you think that they're gonna go to war, the answer is no. They're not going to war. This is all just.
Well,
they're not.
we'll stop on the funny joke Wednesday.
Yes.
We don't need to talk about actual
No, we're not
wars.
going into. I'm just saying it's not gonna happen. Anyway, that's my The World Dough. Who's next in the world?
I mean,
Let's get on down. What you got?
yeah. So, I mean, it's a little bit late for Valentine's Day. It's like a little bit after, but I found an article about the Bronx Zoo. So for $15 whole, you can go to the Bronx Zoo, and on Valentine's Day, I think this happens every year, but they let you name a cockroach, a Madagascar hissing cockroach after your loved one. Or in my case, if I would have done it, all of my exes. you get a cockroach, you get a cockroach. I think there was an extra fee where they got to feed it to, one of the animals. But I thought that was fucking hilarious because 100% that would have been $15 well spent.
Do you get to
Good
watch?
day to be a wizard.
Because I feel like if you don't get to watch, then it's just like you sort of send in a name and like somebody at the zoo is just like, oh dope, another Todd, and then they reach in the box and do it. But if like I want a celebration. I want them to like write a T on the top of the cockroach before they feed it to like a monkey.
See, not only would I want to choose the cockroach, I would want to choose the animal it's fed to, because I want to get like the most brutal fashioned, like noshing, like I want to make sure that motherfucker's eaten brutally.
You know this isn't like real, right?
This is totally real. This is
So like
100%.
it's not your actual ex, right?
No, but it's about
Oh,
catharsis. It's about catharsis. I
Oh,
want to pick the animal that will eat it in the most brutal. Like I want to, and it's gone. I want to see the chewing. I want to see it just, and then I want it.
I don't actually hate any of my exes that much.
I don't really eat it, but also
No comment.
like objectively, if I were
You already
to,
heard my comment.
that's the way I do it.
Sorry.
That's fair. But I mean, it's pretty rad. I'm down. I still think it's there. That's a great way to steal money from people. Like that's like if I also heard that like next year they were like, it turns out like a little hacker from Utah actually created that website and it was a complete lie, I'd be like, God, that kid's a fucking genius. Genius.
There was a quote on this NPR article that I found about this. It was, roses and chocolates come and go, but roaches last an eternity, from a satisfied roach purchaser. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
You said roaches last an eternity?
Yeah,
Hell yes.
that's great.
That's my shit. You know, me and one of my best friends from this town, we are getting matching cockroach tattoos.
No, you're not.
Right on our knee. Yes, we are.
No, you're not.
Well, I also got my little Muad'Dib tattoo because it's the same idea. But I love the idea. I am unkillable. I have been hurt, but I am unkillable. You
That
do your
will be
worst.
on your tombstone.
Yeah, you can't
I
have
always
me
thought
tell me.
he was unkillable.
I mean,
Always survive.
It's either that or Bruce Willis. Both are unkillable, as we all know.
Close enough.
On my tombstone, it's like, here lies Shani. Her life wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Fair enough. Wait, we talked about it. What's my tombstone? Here lies Zach. He fixed
fixes
shit.
things.
He fixed
Yeah.
shit.
Fixes everything but death.
Oh no.
I'll figure out a way. It's fine.
I mean, if you don't, Elon Musk eventually probably will.
Well, that's fair.
Hi, Milton.
Anyway, what do you got in the world, Mr. Zach?
So this is less of a funny one. This is just super fucking cool. Leave it to me to talk about space stuff. But the James Webb Telescope. Let's not play around. This thing is nuts.
It's awesome.
It is 100 times more powerful than the Hubble Space Telescope. We are talking something that can view infrared rays from 13.3 billion years in the past. We are going to see the edge of the universe. We're going to see planets that have other species on it. We're going to see aliens. We're going to see everything. Like it is
so
absolutely insane. And they're right now
fucking
calibrating it. Why? What?
I mean, Romulans
they
do
could
have
be here, we
invisible
don't know.
ships.
Oh my God! But it is
We only see so many
incredible.
colors and so much things reflected off the light. There could be so many things we don't see.
I mean, we're talking fourth dimension stuff, dark matter stuff, fucking
There could
photon stuff. Like,
A
there's
ghost twerking on this table right now. We would have no idea.
Did you learn that on TikTok, Shannon?
Yes.
Actually, we all know
That's
from
twerked
Doom
up.
Patrol, the ghosts are all constantly fucking around us. Yeah.
I loved that show. It's wrong segment. Wrong segment.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not really even that much to talk about except we're gonna find aliens, and that's pretty fucking cool.
Actually, there was just news today about the idea that there might be life on Venus in the clouds. At the moment, basically they were like, "Oh, there's ammonia," because back then or a couple months ago they were saying there's like molecules that are showing that there could be signs of life, but they said there was like an error. But then there was like a thing with like ammonia, and they're like, you know what? We might actually be wrong. There might be something in the clouds that is living in that.
Well, Venus is such a crazy planet. As we're gonna get a little astrological real quick, but Venus is super cool because it's actually hotter than Mercury in most places, and that's because it has like a hyper carbon dioxide atmosphere. Like the greenhouse effect has taken over that whole planet. But we know nothing about the surface of Venus, which is crazy. We know more about the insides of Saturn and Jupiter, which are gas giants. They don't even have a physical form. We know more about them than we know about Venus, and Venus is just like right next door. That's where all the girls come from.
That's why it's
You
a
know?
mystery.
No, that's where the boys go to get a bigger penis.
Oh.
Girls go to Mars to get more candy bars, Zach.
I'm sorry, I missed that verse.
Well, you obviously didn't jump rope.
Actually, I'm very good at it. I never did like the songs or anything. Whatever.
I know far too many.
Anyway, Katie, what do you got?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I have a happy note. It's not like scientific or anything because we know that's not my forte.
Don't worry.
But there's a recent poll out that says that more U.S. adults identify as LGBTQ now than at any time in the past decade.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Duh.
I mean, of course,
They're coming
done
out of the
polls.
walls.
Well, yeah, they haven't there hasn't been a lot of polls done about this specific thing, but I think it's awesome that we're finally going, hey, there's more of us than there are of like the normies.
So I remember actually a statistic they came out with that was actually people reporting, and they came out with the number of 15% belong to the LGBT. So and that was 10 or more
Like
years ago.
decade, yeah.
So that that number could be 20, 25%, maybe even more. And let's be honest, everyone's gay. Everyone's gay. I'm just gonna everybody.
What's the scale called? I think you told
the
me.
Kinsey.
The Kinsey scale. Everyone's at least a little bit gay. And I fucking love that, and like I love that we're living in the time where like people are coming out, people are excited. Like now it's now like a celebration where at any like not any time, but most times in America it was not a celebration. Like it was something to be afraid of, and now when you come out, like all your friends are there with you, and most of the time your family's there with you. Like people don't care. It's just a better time and a better place right now.
Except for the South. We need to fix that still.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, one state at a time,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, one redneck
But yeah,
closed off.
One
at a time.
redneck at a time.
All about it. Everybody.
We're talking to you, Cletus.
Especially you, Cletus.
Sounds about right.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on. This next area is brought to you by toddlers and self-literacy, financial literacy. Is your toddler a lazy piece of shit?
Yes.
Is he just sitting around the house not paying rent, eating your food like a scumbag that he is, or she
Absolutely.
is, or they is? Well, go ahead and sign up for our classes today. An 8-week course will teach them crypto, NFTs, and all the other annoying things that you see on the television incessantly all day, every day. So, in other words, you can either have them insufferable and broke or insufferable and rich. You decide!
What about like taxes? Can you teach them how to do taxes?
Wait a minute. Are you saying you're going to teach your toddlers how to do crypto?
Yes.
So I have so many issues. It's just like the practicality, of course. And also, like, your toddlers are already douchebags. You want them to be more of a douchebag?
I want to give them a reason to be a douchebag.
Listen, when you say the word NFT, I want to punch you in your mouth. Can you imagine if a toddler said it to me?
What if I said,
Goo
like...
Gaga
If you said, or if a
NFT.
toddler said Earth 2 to me, I would throw him to Canada.
What if he said TFN?
I don't even know what that fucking means.
That's like reverse NFTs.
Well, if you add
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but it will be a thing. Someone will create a TFN, and it will be a new thing, and then they'll be annoying as fuck
I
about it.
disagree with your existence.
Yeah. Literacy for toddlers. Get it today. We're going to jump into Get Rekt. And we're doing this as a video game edition.
Yeah.
Zach, you want to jump on?
For sure. Okay, so there's one, I have two options real quick. Have I told you, I know it's like, everybody, it might be a bigger game. Have I talked about Destiny and how much I love this game?
I think you and I have talked about it. I don't think we've talked about it here.
So, okay, this is, normally I would say something obscure like Legend of Dragoon or Lost
You
Odyssey
hipster
or something
fuck.
weird, for sure. But I'm gonna go in and talk about this game real quick. Destiny fucking 2 has turned into one of the coolest games that has ever existed. It is so rad, and one of the coolest things about it that I really love is it has like a lot of games that are like live don't really have a team that gives a shit. They do whatever the fuck they want, and they don't care about how people play the game. They don't care about what like is good, what's bad, what bugs are good, and they just make sure it runs. Destiny 2 is ran by an incredible group of people, especially since BioWare left Activision and Bungie, and Bungie made their own thing. They're completely alone now, and well, they got bought by Sony.
No, I think it's Xbox.
They got bought by
they were
Sony.
there.
They got bought by Sony. But point being, they do their own thing, and they take care of their players. They listen to the forums. They know what guns are dope. They know what abilities are dope. And when they every single week they do a sort of press release, and they talk about all the cool fixes they do, where they're like, hey, you all really liked this auto rifle. We're going to make it better. We're going to add these things to the game. Also, hey, this week we're dropping 3 new missions out of nowhere. We're going to do some crazy shit. We're going to add extra lore. We're going to add all these things. It is such a good game. And in like a week, a new expansion comes out. It's one of the biggest expansions the game's ever had.
Of course it is.
It's still, and I understand that it's rough because like Destiny 2 at this point costs like $200 to like have it all, which is crazy. And that is rough, but it's the best game.
You're gonna buy it. You're gonna buy it.
I've already bought.
Oh, he's pre-ordered. Yeah.
He's got it.
But I think it is legitimately the best game on the market right now. It's incredible. It is so good.
So I want to add on to this a little bit. So I actually played because of this asshole over here. I was talking a little bit about I think you should play it. I said fine. The one thing I love about that game is the flow of the game is always seamless. It never seems like there's a start or an end. It just flows.
You just live in that
You
world.
live in it. You live in it.
As a space wizard.
It's an MMO with guns, but like a real MMO with guns. It's really good.
And with the finesse of all the Halo games, because it's all Bungie. Like the actual, like the actual gameplay is flawless. And then they add in all the MMO stuff, and they add in all the character development and it's so fucking cool. But yeah, I'll get real hipster in my next one. This one, D2, fire. Fuck all the hipsters. The game's great.
Shanny Banana, what you got in the world?
Have I talked about Assassin's Creed Odyssey before?
No.
You should.
But also, tell me about finding stuff the game.
Finding stuff the game.
That is, oh my god, that
All it
is,
is, it's finding stuff the game.
That's so funny because that's one of my favorite things about Assassin's Creed game is finding like feathers, rocks, secret places.
No, okay, so a little known fact about me is I am a fucking open world addict. Like literally, I still have not finished fucking Skyrim because literally I can't. I fucking can't. I got the mod where I don't have to dump anything in my inventory, and I hoard. I hoard it all. I am a hoarder. I'm a fucking hoarder. Anyway, so I was a huge, and still am a huge fucking Greek mythology nerd, and the fact that I could fight fucking Medusa, the Nemean lion, and all these like legendary beasts, just to like fuck around, like get on a ship and fucking go everywhere in like the Greek archipelago, I was just like, oh my god! There are two. You can choose either like a male protagonist or the woman protagonist. If you want an amazing game, choose Cassandra, the female protagonist. I chose Alexios because I'm a fucking asshole. I decided to go with the male protagonist because his voice actor's fucking hilarious. You're like, oh no, Alexios, why are you killing peasants? Why are you killing peasants? Like, I am Alexios. I am the Misthios. I am here to kill the peasants. It's just. His voice acting is fucking hilarious.
It's just Shannon I've ever heard.
Shannon.
And then it's because, like, you know, I'm kind of not the, like, with the open world games, if you kill peasants, bounty hunters come, and then depending on how many people you kill, like world leaders and stuff, you would just murk them in front of a bunch of people. It's kind of like GTA where you have your bounty hunter, like, meter, like, you know, when the cops come for you, it's just bounty hunters. And the higher level ones, they have really great weapons. You just kill people to just level up super fast and get their shit, and I still haven't finished the game, obviously. It's the hoarding aspect. But yeah, it's so freaking fun. There's like nautical fighting, there's obviously hand-to-hand combat, there's like gladiator, like Colosseum, like it's super fun.
Does this one, so I haven't played Assassin's Creed since the English one. Does this still dig into like the lore of like that there's like the old creatures that like made the apple and all these things?
Yeah. There's 100% like a really cool main quest, and then you get like more into the whole like, you know, lore and everything about like what was created and whatnot. You actually get to meet like the gods and stuff, which were actually just like alien-esque beings. Spoiler alert.
I'm gonna go punch my dog in the neck real quick.
Right.
You continue talking.
If you're looking to get a dog, we have one for adoption available in our backyard.
If I had a backyard, I would take him.
You know what's really great? Fans of the show, like before we went on hiatus, are watching this and like now have the context of fucking Milton.
Yeah. Oh, I realize we have talked about him a lot, but like no one knows. But like maybe now you will.
Yes. Now you get to know firsthand, baby.
Baby routine.
So my reco is so I've been playing only one game the last couple months because it fucks so hard, and that's Final Fantasy 14.
14.
Final-
They're on 14.
They're on
They're on
16, actually.
16's about to come out.
Yeah.
What?
So Final Fantasy 14 is their MMO, and it actually has the No Man's Sky arc. Basically, it started off in 2010. It was garbage, and instead of abandoning the game, they rebuilt it from the ground up, made it good, and then Endwalker came out, which is the newest DLC, and it was amazing. And everyone keeps and then on top of that,
It literally broke the internet
it really
when it came out.
It
It 100.
really
The
did.
servers broke. They sold so many copies that Square Enix had to shut down sales.
I got super lucky. I got in just before that happened. I went for the free trial, which you get like you get the full original game, and then you get another DLC, which is like their best DLC for free. So I was like, fuck it, I'll play it. I don't do MMOs anymore. I do MMOs now, and like the cutscenes are amazing. The voice acting's great. Crafting doesn't suck. It is actually fun to craft shit.
It's exciting.
It is so exciting. It's so good. I'm going to buy all the things for it. And and the jobs. Like you could be an astrologer. You could be a bard.
An astrologist?
Astrologist.
An astrologer?
Whatever.
I'll be an astrologer.
And here's the kicker.
Really, you throw astrology signs at
And
people?
here's how you know they're really listening to their fans. You can set up an open mod where you can actually bring in popular songs for the bard, and you're playing like Thunderstruck in the middle of a square with your fucking
cool.
bard. It is so good. And the world has so much to, like, stupid, like, I get executive dysfunction with how much shit there is to do. And everything's beautiful. Like, the visuals are just stunning. Stupid stunning. 20 million out of 10. Go play if you can get in.
It's too
but
many out of 10. Like, percentage-wise, it's too much.
You know, I can't
hard to
recommend.
fathom.
I can't recommend it enough. If you love a good story and you want to be like, you want to rage at the
Also,
end.
if you have time to kill,
I have a lot.
you do
I have a
need
lot of
time.
time to kill
Yeah, he
nowadays.
has a lot of time to kill.
I do now.
I do now.
But yeah, go play that game. It's the last game you'll ever play. That's all I got.
Oh, you about to go in?
I'm about to go in now.
Yes!
So, Zach and I do date nights a lot.
I hope
because
so.
We're married. It's a necessity in order to have a
Not a
healthy
lot.
relationship.
Enough.
You want to die?
We do date night enough.
Okay. Anywho, Zach and I have found a co-op game that we've been playing that is almost like a free therapy session. And it's called It Takes Two.
Aww.
It is such a cool game, and I don't like first person, third person, second person, all the shooters. I don't like shooting.
It's not a shooter game.
It's not a shooter game. It
at
does
all,
have this
in
aspect
any way.
though. It has.
There are
a,
times when you shoot things. That doesn't make it a shooter.
Let's just say
I mean,
struggle.
Die Hard's a Christmas film. I mean.
No, it's not.
Save it for the hill.
Anyway, this is a really cool game. Basically, the concept is a girl, her parents come to her and tell her we're getting a divorce. So she goes into her room and gets real sad with these two dolls she made, one that looks like her mom and one that looks like her dad. And the whole, when she cries, it cries onto the dolls, and magically her parents get sucked into the life of these dolls, and they have to work together to get back into their bodies. And it's
Well, they have
weird
to fix their
concept,
relationship.
But they fix their relationship.
Yeah.
And there's this book, the Book of Love, that comes and
That's
tries
really
to
good.
help them. It was really
Yeah,
good.
it was really good.
But it's really good, and if you have a friend to play with, I definitely recommend it. It is, one, the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. There are the history of the squirrels, which is awesome, and the art is just beautiful. I would play it again just to look how pretty it is.
Without any hyperbole, it is one of the most creative things I've ever played in my life, and especially because it is, because it's co-op only. You have to have someone else to play, and you have to work together. So it has all of the crazy platformer puzzling things from some of the best platformers out there in the game, but it requires you to have somebody else. And it kind of forces you to deal. Oh my god, I just turned into a wet t-shirt contest. That got crazy. But yeah, oh my god.
Shanny?
Mind-boggling. Even if you don't play it,
do you
just
still
watch
want to
it.
be our unicorn?
Oh my god, it's coming back. Well, she's about to leave, so we'll figure it out. But no, the game's absolutely incredible. She is right. It's one of the coolest things. I play a lot of video games, and this one is one of the coolest things I've ever played in my whole life.
Milton gets scared of me when I squirt him with a squirt bottle and runs to his dad.
Yes.
Now we're special guest Milton, everybody.
Yes.
Nice. So, that was our Get Rekt segment. And now a special word for our sponsors.
Oh, this is actually really relevant. Oh my god. Okay. Do you love your dog more than life itself?
No.
Sometimes.
But do you also want to punch your dog in its stupid fucking face all the time? Well, let me introduce to you Sock'em Puppers. You ever had a big ones where you get a football player printout, you tape it to your wall? Well, we took that idea and instead we made a Sock'em Bopper out of your fucking dog. 3D print it using AR technology with your phone, send it in, and we'll make a blow-up version of your animal that you can kick, you can punch, you can stab that bitch in the fucking head, while at the same time feeding the dog that you would die for a bone. Sock'em Puppers.
No dogs were hurt in the making of this commercial.
No, of course not. You make a 3D version of them and you kick them to the moon.
And it comes with a free the NFT.
Are you gonna make him like watch?
Yes.
No.
Also, it would be
need a
hilarious.
good
Introduce
divorce lawyer.
your dog to your dog's Sock'em Puppet
So,
I'm
and
using this
watch
as
what
a
happens.
kiss.
What are you talking about? This is so. This is a great one. This is honestly. I'm gonna start this company. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna be great.
PETA.
can we,
Child-
You know what? We're punching a piece of
Child
plastic.
Protective Services. Puppy Protective Services.
Anyone that owns
That's another commercial.
any like, if you own like a husky or a pit bull or any type of super energetic dog, you have thought about kicking it to the moon. Let's not joke.
just like
this-
your crypto.
You should see Katy when she's doing an audition and the dogs are in the living room. I look like a bad guy right now.
First
Just
of all,
wait.
that is money. Do not mess with life. Don't go to moon if you be stupid, but I'm not going to punch him in the face.
Anyway, for everyone, all the, literally everyone that wants this product, call me up. Sam and Katy, you can go talk to Peter. Let's have a good time.
So we're gonna jump into the next segment. I finally have a name for this damn thing. We're calling this Conspiracy Inquisition. And
That's decent.
I like it.
That was
It's
better than the
working.
original.
It's a
It was
working
much
title.
better than the other
better.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
We
one,
shall not speak
this
of
is
it.
where we're talking about conspiracy theories. We're going to give you 3 or 4 things that we may or may not believe in, and we're going to either tear it apart or maybe believe in it. I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, I'm going to have Zach start this one, because I know this is like his thing. This is your jam. Do your damn thing, homie.
I'll keep it simple. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is just truth.
Because of course it is. All conspiracies are true.
So, the Egyptians had electricity. There is so much silly evidence that the Egyptians had harnessed electromagnetic energy to create electricity. Now, in their hieroglyphics, in their pictures carved into walls, there are pictures of light bulbs, of generators, of batteries that show clearly like a person holding like a big thing attached with a cord to another thing that had like light. And why the fuck would they do that? They weren't holding a fucking glowing egg, it was a light. Makes sense. Now, on top of that, we have done a bunch of study onto, say, the pyramids. And the pyramids, when I say the pyramids, I mean like the pyramids of Giza, the big 3 everyone knows about, and a lot of people think that they were tombs. However, that's insane because there's nothing in them. They're not tombs. We've clearly established that. Archaeologists don't even really argue it anymore. They don't really know what they were for. But they've done a shit ton of study, and what they've realized is there's so much empty space inside the tombs that when like any kind of sound or reverberation goes through it, the tombs create their own like vibration that creates its own like electromagnetic pull, and you can like create energy based on the vibration and the frequencies of the tomb, and it makes energy. Like
It's
shown
ionic
it.
energy.
You can see these tombs just like creating like just electricity out of nothing.
So what you're telling me is they like I just imagine like some Egyptian getting hired. I just need you to scream in circles here and show me power.
I'm in no.
Monsters Inc.
I'm
It's
not a
Scream
physicist.
Factory.
I don't know all the details of how it works, but I will say that it's absolutely obscene how much evidence goes into the fact that the Egyptians, especially the ancient Egyptians, had like real incredible technology, and we just throw it away because we assume that if it's past like 3,000 years ago, they didn't fucking know anything. But like, I mean,
they knew how to do brain
they
surgery.
built the fucking pyramids.
They knew pi. We lost it, and then we found it again. Like, they knew so much shit.
Yeah. So again, not a conspiracy theory, just some truth for you all.
I'm going to add on to your conspiracy theory. It actually goes back farther.
Hit me.
Um,
You want to talk about Goblet?
No, I want to talk about the Babylon battery.
That's
So
interesting.
the Babylon battery is, they don't know how it was quite created, but it was essentially limestone and like some kind of salt solution. They drill a hole and they put this salt solution there, and it would generate energy, kind of like a potato basically, and they would attach it to things. I don't know how it works, but yeah, that is also truth.
It's the same idea. Once again, ancient knowledge has been torn away from the world.
Why are you looking at me like that, kid?
Danny, do you want to go get like a coffee or something? We're just not in this anymore.
You're just next. You just saw your turn. It's
Yeah.
all right. But and because y'all are actually rational people and we are psychotic idiots. So now it's time for the rational people to talk about idiots like us. Go.
Hold on. I don't think it was actually electricity. I think it was magic.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
agree with that.
It was
100%.
aliens!
Yeah, again, she's like, oh, you're not rational, but she cast a spell today to fix a rash. So, you know, we'll talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Anyway, sorry, I'll
I guess
sit back.
I guess I'm gonna jump into this one. So I, as a military guy, I fully believe this. I don't, this is actually a well-known conspiracy theory, but I'm gonna tell you why I believe this, and that is 9/11 was an inside job, and I'll tell
Oh my
you.
god.
It was.
Don't fucking do
I'm
this
doing it.
change on
I
us.
disagree.
I'll tell you
Well,
why.
it's not that we disagree, but this is so heavy and so intense. Are you really going to get into the intricacies of why George
Okay,
Bush was a liar?
Fine.
Get the fuck
okay,
out of here, dude.
We'll do a
down.
fun one.
Shut it
Okay.
down.
Shut it down.
Okay, we'll do a
You already did fucking Putin and the war currently going
we'll
on.
do
Get
a
the fuck
fun
out
one
of here.
then. Okay, here's the thing. Global warming is actually
Let's do a fun one. Global warming.
This one is actually a fun one. So I think that boomers like purport global warming because they're just cold all the time. So they're trying to raise the temperature of the earth so they don't just have to live in Florida or California.
Did
They
you
can
just
live anywhere
make
they want.
up a conspiracy?
No, this is like a legit conspiracy.
This is
Think
his
about it.
own
There's only boomers in Congress for the most part, and they're not doing anything because they're like, well, we just want to raise the temperature in Utah or something so they can live elsewhere. It makes sense.
Are you saying that like coal industries only exist because old people are cold?
Yes.
Shut up, you stupid mouth.
Oh my god.
This makes so much sense. Come on, all the boomers are in power. That's what they want. That's the agenda, baby.
I hate you.
God.
I'm gonna make a soft Sammy, and I'm gonna create a version of you, and I'm gonna stab in the heart. So that way I don't have to kill you, but I can feel the same satisfaction.
Oh,
Oh my god.
No comment.
that's
I'm fine.
yeah. Oh, and we'll do another fun one. And what the Mandela effect.
Are you doing another one? Is this your third one that you're doing?
Well,
No,
no, second one.
He is hosting. He can do whatever the
But I
fuck he
thought
wants.
Well,
Your time will come. We made
No,
this
they're
a thing.
I
going.
mean, if do you guys have ones?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind, psych. I'm good.
I could care less.
That's what you were gonna keep
I
going
know.
until we
Hold
stop.
We didn't talk about
To
this.
be fair, mine is the Mandela effects and how they're real because there's multiverses and somewhere someone's unplugging and plugging back in.
Oh, there we go.
unplugging
Here
and
I
plugging back
here
in.
I am mansplaining. She's got it. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we're good.
Yeah.
No, there's someone's flipping a switch, unplugging, and no, someone's fucking with us.
Well,
I bet
no,
you it was Loki.
Explain.
Yeah.
No, that's it. There's Mandela
Oh, that's all.
effects. So
You're not gonna
time,
say any of them.
every time we notice something is different, there has been something that's been switched on or
Well,
off.
okay.
something
What's your
that's
favorite
plugged.
one?
Ooh, is it risky business? Is that what we're talking about?
The pink
what's
shirt
that?
and white
Wait,
shirt?
So-
what's that one?
So that one is it's risky business. There's a part where is it Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise slides onto the screen in a specific colored
Yeah.
T-shirt.
What is it? What does he show up
White.
in?
Yeah, what is he?
It's-
So what do
it's-
you think?
It's a white.
Does he have
t-shirt.
sunglasses on?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what? No, he doesn't.
So
He has a
apparently-
pink shirt,
pink
no
shirt,
sunglasses.
No sunglasses.
Bullshit.
Google it.
I knew it was pink.
Yeah, but that's because you're one of them.
Every
You're
one of
part of
them.
the Matrix.
Okay.
Like,
Shut up,
every-
Kyle Smith.
Everyone's
Risky.
like dressed up as him with the sunglasses
Business.
for
But
Halloween
I
too.
did
100%.
What the fuck?
So this is what's crazy. There are pictures that are still in our universe
Oh.
of people dressing up in Ray-Bans and a white shirt.
Yeah.
In the movie, when you look it up, he's wearing a pink shirt and no sunglasses.
Also the Berenstain or Berenstein
Berenstein,
Bears.
not Berenstain.
I was a
Yeah.
child, so I'm gonna let that one go because
No,
I don't know. I feel like it
man.
might have been stupid. But what about
Man, they had a
Pikachu's
whole
tail?
TV show too, and they got fucked too.
yeah.
Ugh.
The little brown spots on
There's
the
so many different ones. And I mean, of course, the classic, the goddamn, like, Shazam. Did you look it up? Is your brain destroyed?
Oh, no.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Yeah, it's fucked up. There's so many that are, like, really, really insane. And it also, one of the craziest things is it seems like it just started relatively recently.
Like
you
the
know
last,
when it
like,
started?
2 years.
Was it like the late 80s? Around the time the internet started?
Oh.
Around the time that maybe we broke into a different dimension by accessing fucking things we shouldn't have?
2012, CERN. It was the CERN collider. That's when it started.
That's so late. There was so... shut the
I
fuck
did-
up.
no,
It started with the
the-
Mandala
the-
thing, and that
the
started in
Man-
like the early 2000s.
No, the Mandela effect didn't start. It seems relatively recent when we started talking about the Mandela effect. I don't remember anyone talking about it before 2012.
Okay,
No.
so one, you're incorrect.
Oh, you know what it was then? It was Coney, 2012.
You know what it is? The Mandela effect even now affects how we know. Like, I think it happened after. He thinks before. Which one is correct?
I mean, just Google it. You can literally Google Mandela effect when it started. But yeah, in early 2000s, people started saying like, yeah, like Nelson Mandela died in the early 80s.
Which is...
He died in jail, which that's what a lot of people thought. He didn't. He lived until like the late 2000s.
Yeah.
And that's when people started asking that question, and then the Shazam thing happened.
Like,
and you gotta fucking,
I remember the history is like he died in the like prison thing at like after 27 years. That's what I remember. And then
yeah, incorrect. None of that shit happened.
You know what it is? I bet some like documentary person like fucked that fact up hard, and he just didn't correct anything, and then everyone just kind of ran with it.
Yeah, well, maybe he did that, and then he broke the timeline. It was him. He specific. There's one man, one news reporter, who was like, "Oh my god, delete," when he was trying in his like old like Windows 98 fucking computer, and he broke reality.
And he just like ran with it and never
Fucking
corrected
Carl.
himself.
Fucking
Are you
Coral.
are you going from the Dr. Science?
Dr. Science?
Who's Dr. Science?
The anime that we watched, it was
Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone, where
No.
he used like computers and stuff. No, not that one. I'm wrong.
Oh, you're talking about Steins Gate.
Yes, Steins Gate.
Oh,
I'm not, but
yes.
Steins Gate is fire, and
It
that
has
does.
to do with a
that makes
computer and
sense.
a microwave and going back in time and fucking.
I wasn't, but I am now. All right, you're up. What's your conspiracy
My
theory?
conspiracy theory is Avril Levine is a replicant.
I don't want to believe
Again,
this
that's
one.
just truth.
I mean, so the
It's-
conspiracy goes that like there's she came down with a really bad case of Lyme disease like back in the day.
Yes,
like,
I remember this.
and then they thought that she died and was replaced by a fucking doppelganger. Because, like, she started making music that wasn't really similar to herself or anything. But what I think is what happened is stemming into the fucking Mandela effect. She fucking switched with a doppelganger from another universe. And now, this year, she started releasing music like old Avril Lavigne again. With Travis Barker, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds exactly like how she used to sound. It looks like she hasn't aged a fucking day.
So what if it was, instead of switching from someone from another multiverse, what if it was an alien trying to learn about us?
Ooh, reptile person.
Like they switched it, and then finally
whole
maybe she
nother
escaped
thing.
or whatever,
That's a
and they switched her back.
What if she was an ambassador to that alien's planet? She was doing the good for
I
us.
could think of someone worse.
Intergalactic, Ambassador Avril Levine, and then she came back from her grand trip.
But you know that it wasn't that she died. Well, it was that she died, but it's that she committed suicide because of the death of her father.
Oh.
Whoa!
Her
That
father
just
died.
escalated.
And she got obviously in her feels, and she committed
Unalive
suicide.
herself.
That's what everyone said. That's
Yeah.
how she died.
Woof.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know so many things about this.
I like the alien ambassador one.
I
They're
don't
giving
know
the
what
worst
it is.
ambassadors.
It's
I
not
mean, it is-
bad, or the alien got better at impersonating her now.
There's actually
It's true.
there's quite a few of those of people that like people disappear. I mean, like the biggest one's like Paul McCartney. People think that
Paul
he's
McCartney's
gone.
dead.
There's a few others.
Elvis, Tupac.
No, that they died. That they're still alive. But I'm talking about people that switched.
Oh,
People
yeah,
think
yeah,
Paul
yeah.
McCartney was not Paul McCartney. Or no, was it John Lennon? Paul McCartney? One of the Beatles. People think that he was replaced.
Right.
And there was like all kinds of crazy shit about like in the album cover
Yeah.
of Yellow Submarine. People are like, yeah, it doesn't make sense because one of like Paul's feet are different or some shit, and they think there's all kinds of clues, like it's some kind of like Da Vinci Code style mystery.
Let's take the assumption it did exist. I think it would be actually less nefarious than that. I think that a lot of people just like built their nut. They don't want to do it anymore. It'd be weird if they just like left, so they just kind of
Just hired somebody.
Just hire somebody. Like, Putin has how many doubles? He's got like 20 doubles.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Like,
for sure.
you
But
just-
he's-
That's like a thing for Putin. You bring him up so often.
I mean, he's a very masculine man, and
you want to take Putin in the Putin?
he fascinates me. He's a fascinating
Don't-
man,
listen,
objectively. He
This is
really
going on the internet, and I don't want our house to explode. So.
Oh no, he's a poison guy. He's not gonna explode.
I don't want to see you die in front of me.
But yeah, no, like I think
Well,
that I think that let's take the assumption it does exist. I think they just had an audition for people who look like these people, and they're just like, you're gonna step in my role and do my thing, and
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna fuck off in the sunset and do underwater basket weaving or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, great
Moving on.
inaugural segment here. We're gonna jump into our last commercial segment thingy of the night, brought to you by whoever the fuck.
It be me. Okay, hello, loyal listeners and viewers. Let me pull this up
Strong,
right now.
Jenny, strong.
Are you sick of hitting on people
No.
and finding out that they're in relationships? Are you sick of hitting on people and having a relationship and finding out they lied about also being in a relationship? Well, damn, do I have the product for you! Take a vision. They are spectacles that you put on your eyes, and like in The Sims, it has a little thing that floats above people's heads with their relationship status. And it will be included in single, taken, it's complicated, and cheater.
I actually like this product. This is a good product.
That's gonna call so
Ooh,
many people
this is the
out.
beginning of a
It's
Black
gonna
Mirror episode,
define-
though.
It's gonna define more relationships than we do in today's day.
Because they wouldn't just do
Protect
relationships.
yourself with taken vision today.
Your intense angst at the moment is blinding you to the fact that this is an active Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
It is.
No.
Black
Oh.
Do
Mirror
you
probably-
realize how dark that could get?
Oh yeah, 100%. But it also obviously if they're in an abusive relationship, that would be boop 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 above their head too.
Like
Like,
a
just
little,
a
little
band-aid.
siren.
A little band-aid on their little
Oh, no.
sim thing. Oh no.
Yeah, it's like I'd actually really like to watch that an episode. Like I'd probably write a spec or something, being like someone who creates this, and they're like, wow, I created a scanner and it figured it out, and they're like, oh fuck, oh no, this is terrifying. Yeah,
Oh man.
that'd be super sick.
I'd buy that product.
So terrifying.
I'd buy
Yeah.
that
I
product.
would.
In
I
order
wanna
to
know
know that
single
much
Pringle.
information, they'd have to know so much
Yeah, it
more
would be
about
like
you.
probably like an AI based thing that literally stalks people through the fucking internet.
I mean,
What
that's-
about instead of just relationships, it's also people's intentions?
Oh
That's
yeah.
what I'm talking about.
friendship.
This is Minority Report. This is how the end starts. This is the end. You will stop talking about it. Like, this is not good.
You called the intent
You're
meter.
saying, oh, this is what your intention is? How you decide. Okay, actually, we've already seen this. We know exactly what you're talking about. There's a show called Psychopaths. I just
I
watched
love
it.
Psychopaths.
That's what you're talking about. You're talking about
Yeah.
Psychopaths, except it's not about murder. It's about abuse. It's the exact same thing. You're talking about Psychopaths. And how well did that go?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Pretty bad.
Thank you for telling me.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't. Ugh.
Why does your dog look so royal right now? He's just like,
See, what you're seeing is fear. That's not loyalty. He is a fraidy little bitch, and he is staying up here because he's afraid of every noise in the universe and Katie's squirt ball.
I see. With that being said, we're gonna jump into the last segment of the night, which is the hills we die on.
Hold please.
Oh, I hated that.
It's all right. I got the sound cue ready to go. So,
Are we hitting it?
No, we're good.
Oh, did we hit it?
We
No,
can just add
he
it
hit
later.
it.
Oh, he hit. That was all. Oh, yeah, I nailed it.
We're not
fucking.
We're
nailed it.
not adding that. I like that better. Let's start off with let's start for Katie. I think
Yeah,
let's
she
start
hasn't
for
gone
Katie.
first.
Oh boy, my heart just fell when you said that.
Let's go, brother class. Let's go.
If you are friends with someone, let's
Oh,
go
no.
as far
Oh, no.
as best friends with someone.
Relevant.
If you are not loyal to a fault and stand up for that person through thick and thin, are you best friends? Are you even a friend at that point? I think this is the hill I die on, is if you are friends with someone, you should be with them through thick and thin and not choose to not be their friend when things get rough.
She hasn't been hurt recently.
No, not at all.
She hasn't been hurt
Is this a
recently at all.
hypothetical? This is a hypothetical?
This is just, this is out of the blue.
I'm not going to name names, but I will say I am hurt.
Not only am I going to die on this hill, I will be a zombie on this hill to defend the hill. Like, absolutely.
Who are my two Romans in the mouth of Satan? Anybody?
Romans in the mouth of Satan? What do you mean?
There's three people in the 9th level of hell in the mouth of Satan. Who are the two?
This is
From certain Rome.
obscure ass
Julius
knowledge.
Caesar, it's not. They're super easy. It's Cassius and Brutus. They stabbed Caesar. Cassius convinced Brutus to kill Caesar. Point being,
I slept in that
betrayers belong in the worst level of hell. Betrayers. People that let down the people they love. That is the worst.
Be
That
kind
is
to your friends.
not uncommon knowledge.
Stick with your friends and be kind. And remember that when they go through hard times and you were there for them, it should also be the reverse.
Yeah.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, what goes around comes around.
I mean, I was raised to basically like give too much of myself away and not expect anything in return, which is fucking toxic. Don't do that. I mean, relationships are inherently transactional. If you're not getting what you put in, then that person's not a good friend. And if someone calls you their like best friend, good friend, there should be a level of equal, give and take,
Absolutely.
and especially when you see your friends struggling, you should not ever just fucking abandon them. That makes you a shitty fucking person.
Hey, Shan, is
Yep.
your best friend?
Sure.
She's moving very far.
Someone got a promotion!
Sorry, that means we can't be unicorns. I don't do that with best friends. Sorry.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay. All right, I was talking about best friend stuff.
Okay, Zach.
I'm sorry. I'm whatever.
Violated.
You've been drinking. It's just fine.
No, it's not
I'm
about-
getting violated. Your dog's trying to tell me.
It's because you're single now.
Sit down.
I'll jump into the next one. Not as maybe necessarily relevant, but pretty silly. If you're doing street parking, and you decide to essentially kind of take up like two spots just barely.
Oh boy!
For those who are not aware of the LA situation, parking is a nightmare in 90% of the places, and it's all street parking because we don't build for the future. Fuck you. And like, there's always some asshole who will like literally take up like two parking. They'll park in the middle of like a 3 parking item, and then they ruin it for everyone around that person. And I have that problem distinctly around the place I'm living now, and it just frustrates the shit. I mean, especially because like street parking is also, or street cleaning is also a thing, and like you have to like really deal with street parking in a way where it's like you have to.
It's like religious at this point.
Yeah.
You get a ticket like that.
Yeah. They are straight like.
I got my car towed back in the day because I got too many street cleaning tickets. But I lived in a place that I dealt with that same shit. I lived in West Hollywood, and like I didn't have a parking spot. They were just like, and I worked late nights, so I'd come home from the bar at like 3:30 in the morning, and there's just nowhere to park. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'll park illegally, and then I'll go in the morning before the trucks come at 9:30. But I had been drinking. So then I'd forget, or I'd wake up and I'd be like, yeah, I'll wake up in time, and I didn't. And then my car would get a ticket. And then my car got towed, and then I owed a bunch of money, and then the cops beat me up. So, whatever. Life is pain, and fuck everyone that does that. In my neighborhood, I recently got into it with some old dude, because I got out of my car, and there was a dude who was double parked right in front of my house, where we live. And he had this big ass truck, and there was plenty of room. It was a new truck, so fuck him. And I got out of my car, and it had been a long day, and I started cussing out his truck. And then I turned around.
He wasn't in the truck.
No one was there. The truck was alone, and I was flipping off the truck, yelling at the truck because I had to take a bunch of groceries in or some shit. And my car was parked in front of my driveway, and I'm screaming at the truck, and then I look behind me, and a guy goes, "You want to tell me what you're mad about?"
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh my god!" There's like an old fucking Armenian dude right behind me, and like his family.
Oh, no.
And I was torn. I was like, "Do I go off or
Yes.
do I
Yes,
be nice?"
you do. Plug life.
So I went off.
there to help him. Right choice.
I went off. I yelled at him and I told him. I mean, I wasn't like mean. I wasn't like yelling rude things. I was just like, hey, dude, this isn't okay. You gotta grow up. Like, we all gotta share the road. You can't be a piece of shit. Like, we all do this. And he completely ignored me. Told his family something in a different language and pointed at me. And then they got in the car and left. And I felt lesser than. I lost a part of myself that day. I didn't win. I lost that argument for sure.
So I'm going to add an addendum to that hill as well. Equally who sucks is if you are parked and people are trying to find parking and they give you like this much room on both sides to get the fuck
Can't
out.
get out.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Cannot.
can't.
This actually happened to me like maybe
That
like a
you
month
have the legal right to
Hit them.
run into their car. That's not true.
listen to
I'm not a legal advisor.
I legitimately couldn't go to work because of this. I lost a day's worth of work because cuntbag McGee's wanted to park an inch away from my fucking bumpers, and like that's just like $250, $300 down the fucking drain because assholes are just like, oh, I need to be in your back. Fuck you! Go literally anywhere else or give me at least 6 inches. Like, give me a dick's worth of space,
That's what she said.
and I can get the fuck out and go to work.
That's also what she said.
6 inches. Get the fuck out so I can go to
Give me my 6 inches so I can go to work.
That's a good morning.
But yeah, that's all I got for my hill. I'm dying the fuck on
Everybody's
that hill.
on that hill, except for my neighbor, and he is currently about to blow up my hill. So you know.
With that being said,
Will
moving
you
on.
stop with the blowing shit up?
you're ups.
I can go, I guess. I want to preface this with this is from a person who used to work in retail and in the public sector with people yelling at me. Specifically, when I go to places that such as Target that have a grocery section or just a grocery store, when people just put random cold things back on a random shelf.
Not the cold
fucking
shell.
boo.
Like some eggs or fucking cottage cheese, and it's a fucking boomer who's eating fucking cottage cheese sometimes.
I like cottage cheese.
Actually, cottage cheese is pretty good.
But young people put it the fuck back.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
because we all have had to work in the fucking service industry.
Yep.
So it's these fucking Karens just being like, I don't have time to put back my cottage cheese. I'll just put it in the chip section.
All 15 seconds worth.
Literally, it takes 30 seconds at most to power walk to one end of the fucking grocery store to put it the fuck back. Put it back! I don't care how busy it is. Put it back!
You know what this is? This is the evolution of the shopping cart problem.
Yeah,
It is.
I disagree.
It's-
I disagree a little bit.
Like, just a little bit. It's an evolution, a little bit.
Because the shopping cart problem still is the.
that's laziness.
The shopping cart is the shopping
so
cart
is that,
problem.
but it's also-
but it is.
disrespectful to put a
It's a
cold
social
item
experiment
on the
about what
shelf.
kind of people are. But I will disagree a little bit because sometimes in a grocery store, sometimes you're at the other end and your wife is yelling at you that you have to go and you're like, oh, I forgot the chips. You're like, oh fuck, what do I do? Do I make her mad or do I put this away? And I will make someone who's working work 10 times out of 10 rather than let
So-
Katy yell at me.
Sounds like you're kind of like a
Here's
little
the
boomer. in you.
shovel, and
I mean, but also listen, I've worked retail, I've worked in customer service my whole fucking life. Also, what the fuck else are you doing? We're just running around. Literally, most of the time, you're just wasting time and trying to move things around and pretend to clean anyway. That's what I do. That's what most people do when you're working customer service until it gets busy. Of course, when it's busy, you work, but the rest of the time, you're just fiddle faddling.
It's also the food waste for me. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's
because
all-
depending on
that's
how
a
long
whole
it's out
different
on the
thing.
shelf, if no one sees it.
What if that was the last cottage cheese
I mean-
and now it's no good and I
Okay, if someone
Food
throws a
poisoning.
fucking gallon of milk in the chicken tender heater, sure, I get it, but very rarely is someone are they ruining some food? I'm just saying, there's a line.
Shelf life.
There's a line, and some people do it really maliciously because they don't give a fuck and they hate you.
Yeah,
But
Karen.
there are times where that's not the worst thing, I think.
What's worse, leaving it at a
I'm just-
random spot or leaving it at the register, making eye contact?
Oh
with
my
the
god,
people
when
at
we
the
leave it
register?
at the register, they're like, actually, can you put this back?
Or you,
Ah!
or you see them take the milk and they open the place with the drinks and they put them where the milk is and they're like, sorry.
Dude, okay,
At least
this-
it's cold though.
This isn't even hills we talk. This is mountain ranges we talk.
That's true. Yeah.
Zach, what do we got?
No, I did. No, wait, did you do yours?
She
Oh,
did
yeah,
it.
yours was.
I went first.
Mine's gonna be real lighthearted. Because these are super intense. I think any food is better if it's shaped like something fun. Earlier,
Down the hill.
earlier, I ate a chicken nugget from Carl's Jr. and it was shaped like a star.
So when I handed him this chicken nugget, he said, "What the hell is that?" I said, "It's a chicken nugget. It's a chicken star." What?
Okay,
Great.
so objectively, it wasn't good. It's a chicken nugget. I know that chicken nugget's probably closer to a sponge than a chicken. But because it was a star, I ate like it piece by piece, and I was like, ooh, like I feel like I'm special. And like a dino nugget, way better. And then like when you see food, so like I think that Michelin star restaurants and like restaurants that overcharge you for crazy shit, I think there's a racket on a lot of things. But when you go to you see some of these crazy ones where they're like, all right, this is like a steak and baked potato, but on your plate it looks like strawberries and like a light salad, but they've like deconstructed and redid it. Like that's so dope. Like that's like the coolest thing. And so like food shaped like silly things or fun things, I think when it adds like this imaginative element, that makes food so much better.
So how do you feel about imprints on food, like a Darth Vader pancake that you like burn into the
It's better than a regular pancake.
Yeah.
It tastes better than a regular pancake. 100%.
You've 100% unlocked a secret to being a good nanny.
You could pee in that mix and I'd be like, dope,
Do
Darth
you
Vader was
know-
having a bad day, but I'm down.
Do you know how many sandwich-shaped cutters I have purchased for children just so they will eat food?
You mean Zach?
Excuse me, I'm the cook in this house.
His favorite one is the big elephant, baby elephant.
Aww.
Swag.
There was this like dessert. I went to this like Wolfgang Puck restaurant in Vegas. It was really great. But their dessert was like a banana cream pie type of thing, red banana cream pie, but it was like shaped. It was like
First of all, that was my
shaped
first one.
like a fucking like white chocolate fucking spaceship looking design.
Yeah,
And they
but
poured
isn't
like they had like rum
This
with
is why we
caramel
do
sauce.
Hills
They
Goodbye.
melted it, and then the cake was underneath. And I was like, ooh, dinner and a show, like
And it-
delicious.
So
Oh,
they didn't
dude, I
give you
love
dessert,
those.
they gave you an experience.
Yeah.
That's
That's
why
beautiful.
Benihana's is so successful.
Yeah. No, dude, I love. Oh,
100%.
okay, that's a new hill. That's like a whole different ass hill.
Exciting food is better than non-exciting food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's the thing, like hibachi, you can go to Hibachi Grill and get, like, for $7 so much food. And then you can pay for the exact same food and pay $50 a plate. But when he throws a shrimp in your mouth, I come
Dude,
a little bit.
I catch it every time. I'm so good at that.
Oh my god, you, fuck you. You catch it every time?
Every
I like the
fucking
onions,
time.
The little
Oh
stack
yeah,
of
the
Give me a
little
volcano.
volcano shape
Exactly.
when they do
The
the
volcano.
right
Do you know how much
and it
those
goes
meals
eat,
cost
eat,
them?
eat. Yeah,
A lot.
Like 70 cents a meal. It's zucchinis and onions and rice and chicken. But we pay so much money because those guys are amazing and they give us that fucking feeling where we feel so special. And that's also the same way I feel about dino nuggets. Not to shit
You know what?
on hibachi chefs, but dino nuggets and hibachi chefs really give me the same feeling.
You know what? I think you just hit on something really interesting. Like, food making you feel special is a very rare thing, and I didn't even really think about it until you said it. Like, if you can do that, just like at any restaurant, whether it's like Benihana, like, or something, like if you were to create something very different from that experience but make it special, that's money right
Like
there.
the pancake peanuts on a stick.
Or like a blackened restaurant where you can't see or like hear.
Oh my
anything.
god, that's on my bucket list.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
yeah.
Terrifying.
If you can make food feel special, you will make money. That's
That's Melting Pot's thing.
That's a legal lawsuit. waiting
Melting
to
Pot
happen.
gives you a bucket of boiling au jus, and then they give you uncooked food, and they say, hey, we're going to charge you $150 a person. Here's
Do
some
not rub
uncooked
cheese."
food. Do it yourself, you little bitch.
Not only would he buy that, he would put a $50 tip on it.
100%. I do, and I can have. I was in high
I've
school.
never been to
I took.
Melting Pot.
It was a very southern thing. Melting Pot's really
They
big
used
in
to
the
have
south.
their
I
melting pot
like
here.
I like the.
But I'm just saying, it is
I
like
always wanted
a
to.
very
Sounds
big.
boring. I will
company.
take you on
I like
that.
the crab shack.
Yes, Melting Pot.
Anyway, we're actually gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
It's that time of
We
the
did
night
it.
because that's how we do things. Shannon, where can we find you in the world?
On this podcast and maybe in Thailand and a couple, and I'm not.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. We
Yeah.
should mention that maybe later in detail in another episode.
Yeah.
Stay
but
tuned for more information.
Yeah.
I might start a YouTube channel. I quit streaming because of this cunt in Florida. Haha. Bye.
There's been more C words in this one than I've heard.
And I die on the inside every time.
That's Katie's least favorite word. I've gotten in trouble.
Katy
for.
Kins, where can we find you in the world?
You can find me everywhere at Freckled Hobo. I am actually starting a new podcast myself. Sorry guys, love you. It's called Frecked Up, where I talk about all the things that are frecked up with the world. But yeah, Freckled Hobo is where you can find me, and I have more stuff in later episodes that I'll tell you about.
I just want you to know, you go into another podcast, fuck you.
It's just me. It's
Dude,
like a diary.
We built a studio. You think we're not going to use this bitch?
And, Zach, where can you find you in the world?
Boo.
So long.
I've been doing some carpentry lately.
Making a stick.
Jesus!
Once again, you can find me on Instagram at zclap1, but it's not a great time for you or me. And we make a bunch of stuff, but right now, just yet, we're on the precipice of greatness. We're so close to selling some awesome things. And where you will find them, me and my beautiful wife made a production company called Critical Films. We have a YouTube. We're putting stuff out. You can find those there. And here soon, we're going to be really, making some incredible content.
Releasing Dungeon Daddy coming soon.
Dungeon Daddy. That's about it. I know they took a hard tonal shift, and that's because my wife pointed out a thing to me. Either way, Sammy, you be up.
Great. You can find me at SlammySammyLock on the Twitter. You can find me at SlammySammyLock on the Instagram. You can find me at SammyLock on the TikTok, where I do TikTok things sometimes. And you can find me at Steam Buddy Productions, where I barely do anything because I'm tired. I'm old. That's just how that works. And of course, you can find us here at Chuckle Plus on every single platform that exists. I know Chuckle Plus is new, and we're not going to talk about it because it just sounds cool. Also, thank you for listening, as usual, and thank you for sticking around if you're one of our old school people who've been just waiting patiently for
I'm
an
gonna
episode
fucking text Hank tonight.
Yeah, and I know that our sound might sound a little janky, but that's because it's very new and we're still working out the kinks. So expect. This is just the bare minimum, okay, guys? This is the bare minimum. It's only going to get better from here.
Stop apologizing. You look weak.
Oh my God!
I need people to watch me. I need validation, Daddy.
Apologizing isn't weak.
Yeah, you toxic
Yeah,
masculinity.
Groveling is weak.
Yeah, I'm not going to go.
We're not gonna do
Anyway, with that being said, thank you for watching, because without you, you guys know what's coming. This is not worth doing. And we will see you next week with a whole ass other episode of weird shit that comes out of our mouths. Have a good one, guys. Hey!
Yeah!